Okay, hello everyone and welcome to GRS F2 where there's a wheel on the exit of Stavilo 2 and that's not the intro I was thinking of, but it's interesting. You join us, or we join midway through qualifying at the moment, um, since, well, I was eating food, well we're here at least, so let's see what's happened then. Pavelski's on top by a tenth over Harley, then Ennis, Chris Free, Lewis Pierce, everyone in the 44s, apart from uh, Adam Lapidge and Jordan Bailey. Anyways, let's go on board with Kyle Mack and give you a rundown of the track. So, into the bus stop, lagging a bit, and that's always great to start with. Full traction, so you can go in second on the exit and across the line to start the lap. Into La Source then, braking at about 100 metres. A bit deep into the corner, you want to try hit just a bit of the inside curve, not fully ride it. You then head up towards Eau Rouge and Radion. He's got a car in the way. I hope the car moves out the way through Eau Rouge and Radion. And that has not been the case so far, as this Williams needs to move. And anyways, into Lake Arm, you want to ride the curbs. Kyle doesn't ride the curbs, and then you can sort of carry as much momentum through here. Staying track limits, quite difficult to do so on occasions. Then into Bruxelles, and then No Name, which actually has a name. I said this yesterday, I don't know why I'm repeating myself. And then down towards Pillon, not taking the esports line, which for some reason this game always throws me into a wall. And Pillon, you can kind of get away with track limits sometimes, it's a bit dumb. As then into Lafagna, and takes that in fifth the whole way through, nice minimum speed. And then fourth into the first part of Stavilo. Then on the exit you can go flat out, but Kyle lifts, I'd say, a bit excessively. As the clouds are rolling in here. We had a wet race yesterday, so if we have the same thing again today, that would be brilliant, as it was very entertaining. Now into the bus stop for Kyle, right behind the Haas. I think that's David starting this lap, or it's Adam. I don't know which one. It was Adam. And it's P8 for the AlphaTauri. Who else? Roger was invalidated. Chris Free is taking a nice white line to get as much momentum to start the lap. Lewis is not on a lap. Theo's not on a lap. Who's in the Haas? That's not Adam. It's David. So Hugo, how's Hugo doing? He's not invalidated, so that's good. Cruising in the middle sector. 18-0. I know we saw low 16s yesterday in the middle sector, so he's probably made a mistake somewhere. He has not got the battery on. Does he even have a front wing? The answer is yes, he does have a front wing. Maybe he just went sideways then. Hansen, purple middle sector. What can the Alfa Romeo do? Currently high up in the championship. I don't have the championship standings up, so I can't have a look at them. Very smart of me. I might get it on my phone though and give you a rundown. Anyways, into the bus stop for the Alfa Romeo. Gets it nicely. There you go. That's a no traction exit. And it's a 43.7, which is a good time. Very solid. Next we have Adam, who was the second up at the middle sector split. Goes a bit deep into the entry of the bus stop and kicks the rear while trying to get on power halfway through the corner. Okay. I'm not sure that was the smartest of things to do, Adam. Someone jumped up. I think that was Roger Well, who goes to P3. as Theo Smith abusing the track limits. 15 to middle sector though. That's quick, I'm pretty sure. As it's getting darker and darker, I have a feeling it might rain before the end of the session. There's a lot of drivers out on track at the moment, so if it is going to rain, Anson will be quite happy. Being 3 temps clear, but will he be 3 temps clear anymore? No, he won't, and that's a pole for the Mercedes. 43.5. David Hoy's invalidated. And that's Harley, who is on a 5-minute lap time. So I don't think he's finishing that one. Jordan's invalidated and is 3 seconds down. Adams lagging his way through Lafayette. Lovely. What more do you expect, really? On an 8 lap. Is David going again? I think David is going again. We'll go on board with the Haas as he is very deep into Lake Arm. He's also got a Mercedes parked on the inside. A McLaren also nearly stopped. There's a tyre over there as well. So someone's crashed at Stavalo too, and someone's crashed on the exit just after the source. If anyone knows who was who, sure, tell me. I mean, it's qualifying any bit of this race. I don't know, it doesn't matter, but at the same time, I don't know. Anyways, David Hoy has hit the curb and he's rained. I'll make that sound way more interesting than it actually was. Let's have a look at Habelski. How's Habelski getting on? The Alpine doesn't look as saturated as it did yesterday for me, which is a good thing, I guess. I don't know. Depends how you prefer your Alpines, if you like them saturated or not. So that's a 10.5 in the first sector. And decent through Lecom. Heading down now to Bruxelles. Into third and short shift into fourth. Through No Name, gets that very nicely but has a bit of a twitch on the curb. If you can get that curb, if you can right that curb fully without getting that twitch, then that's always the best. Not pushing as much as he could through Huon there, and then through Lafayette almost dipped his wheel into the death hole in that curb, I will say. It's probably the best way to describe it, and he's a 10th down. I'd say that's probably from Puon. So I've seen Harley jump to third. Finished P8 yesterday and F3 after leading part of the race. Made the wrong strategy call. Anyway, Tabelski, how are you doing? Have you found time? Oh, yeah, he's definitely not finding time with that line. Ennis? He's on a lap. Hugo is not got a front wing. Interesting. Hugo always finds a weird way to break his car, I feel. Anson's probably very confused. I don't blame him for being confused. Anyways, Ennis. I think he got pole with a 43.8 yesterday, so needs to try and find that level of pace again. If he wants to, oh, he's not going to find that level of pace on this lap, but he can turn the battery off, recharge and go again. Although he hasn't turned the battery off. Might want to do that before it's too late. Hansen started his lap. Hugo chose not to set a lap. I mean, he could have started P12. But I guess not. David Hoy is not coming out. No one else in the pits is going to be able to make it back out. Habelski's just gotten out too late. So, we are on the final runs, essentially. On board with Hansen, he's a 10th up. And that's a good start to chasing after the Mercedes of Theo Smith, who, well, he can't go out again, but there's definitely a chance of someone beating him as it started to rain here at the end of qualifying. And this is not going to help Hansen. He needs to get to the end of this lap quickly. And he's absolutely chucked it through Pillon there. That was a lovely line. Now into Lefania. He needs to hope that the track doesn't get too wet in this section, as Carl Mack has retired from the session. And, well, the track's not wet yet, but we saw how quick it got wet yesterday, as he's 2 tenths up here. And all he needs to hope is the track's not soaked by the time he gets to the bus stop, as he's now heading down towards Blanchemont, and he's going to still be able to go flat out through there, and the rain's not settling, so he's just about got the timing right on this. As long as he doesn't go deep into bus stop, he gets it all right, but he's a bit slidey on the exit, and that's going to cost him time. We know he had a good run there last lap. Can he go to the top? He cannot, and that is unfortunate as Jordan Bailey jumps up P11. Hebelski's not going to make the line, and I think the track's a bit too wet now. So Theo Smith will start on pole, as no one's going to be beating it with the rain, unfortunately, for everyone else, not for Theo, who's going to be happy. But yeah, a lot of people crashing here on track right now. That's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 people retired. There's the GRS disabled, which we saw after about 6 raindrops yesterday. But yeah. There's your grid. Theo Smith on pole. Joining him on the front row is Anson Wong, Harley Davidson and Jacob Pavelski on the second row, with Rogerel and Chris Free on the third, and Nissan Lewis Pierce on the fourth. Adam Lapage and Carl Mack on the fifth row, with Jordan Bailey and Callum Pierce on the sixth, Hugo Nelson and David Toy on the seventh. And starting from the back is Evan Bowers, but we saw what he did at China from right at the back of the grid, so don't write him off at all. Oh, beautiful. Just waiting for Jordan to make it to the... Lovely. Alright, so that's qualifying over. There's your grid, like I've just said. Will we see rain in the race? I hope we do. It'll be exciting. Just having a browse to see if I can get the stand-ins up. We do have the stand-ins. So the top 2 in the championship actually aren't here today. Lasse Rasmussen and Caleb White. So it's a perfect opportunity for Anson Wong and Jacob Pavelski and Chris Free, who are all within 8 points of the championship lead, to take that championship lead. Well, I will say Anson started on the front foot. Jacob's not too far behind, and neither is Chris, to be fair. I think they're both starting in the top 6. As, do we have rain? Please. Oh, here, okay. We've got a lot of clouds. I hope we have rain, because it was quality yesterday when we did. This is what happens when you run low graphic settings. That grass on the left is very pixelated. It's also appearing to take over the curb at some point. I don't know why that's what I'm noticing, as we're starting in 10 seconds there. Here we go. So, as we now go to the lights, it's hard tyres in the Mercedes garage, as it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 red lights here in Spa. And away we go, as I'm just going to quickly get that up. It's mediums and hards all of rain, so I don't think there's going to be rain early on, as off the start, Harley's managed to jump up into second ahead of Anson, and everyone's probably just wanting to take it careful, as well, there's been some big crashes there before, as there's a Ferrari getting pile-drived. I think that's Chris Free, and then they're heading up Eau Rouge and Radion for the first time in this race, as let's see if everyone's going to make it through safely. I think they are, which is good. As let's see how this is going to go. Callum Pierce is already down to last. As Anson is down to 6th off the start, and Adams. We are okay. How many corners are we into this race? About 5, and Adams already got a penalty. I don't know how he's managed that. That's got to be some sort of record. That's probably more impressive than it is not impressive, as Hardy's looking for a move for the lead of the race early on here in the Aston Martin, really putting the Mercedes of Theo Smith under pressure. He's just not quite able to get the move at the moment. Well, everyone is all bunched together still to start off here, as Evan Bowers has moved up to P9 ahead of Jordan, who has he got damage? Ew, he's gone sideways though, and that's probably rear wing damage. As here comes Rogerwell, having a look at Harley. These drivers all on the medium tyres, as Callum Pierce has spun at Stavelot. And Anson has also managed to get past Ennis. Ennis is trying to cut it back, but he's not going to be able to do that. Anson back up to P5 at least. Just needs to drag himself into the DRS range. That's a move being attempted by Roger Wallace. Ennis has also managed to get back past Anson. For P5 as his yellow flags once again. I think that's Jordan. Well, we are to lap 2 here, and Anson is going for a move once again. And also Habelski's going for a move on Roger Wallace. Harley's gone sideways up ahead. And there's so many battles going on here, I don't know which one to focus on. Ennis is ahead there, as Habelski and Roger Wallace still side by side. And I think Habelski's going to come out ahead here. Roger Wallace had the opportunity to stick his nose in once again, but chose not to. Well, the front two are starting to build a bit of a gap behind already, as Theo goes deep and off track there. We saw him do that in qualifying and not get one. As Hardy's gone sideways there, and he's going to be reined in at the exit of Savilo too. He might have hit the barriers, I'm not quite sure. As with Roger Wallace, Belski goes wide at Blanchimont then, and he's also nearly on deep into the bus stop as he's lagging all over the place, which isn't ideal for the Alpine, I was going to say. So Rogerwell's going to have the first taste of DRS this race. Can he get this move done on Habelski? He's going to go to the right side of him, and he's going to have the move completed well before Lecom, as Adam also moves up to P5 ahead of Anson, and Adam's also gone round ahead of Anson. That's going to drop him further back, as Jordan Bailey is retired up Eau Rouge and Radion. I don't think it's a safety car though. Let's have a look where he's been it. Oh, he's gone flying into the barriers there. He's done Adam from yesterday. As we saw Adam go flying at max speed into that wall, which was interesting. let's see what's going to happen in this race then. I keep thinking it looks like spots of rain, but it's just not spots of rain. It's just like random, actually visual glitches I'm getting, which is always great. Hopefully it's not affecting the stream too badly. This is yellow flags, that's Callum Pearce once again. So, on to lap 4 it is then, and Pavelski's using a bit of the battery. Someone's in the pits, and there's also a yellow flag. I think Adam's spun, and Lewis has come into the pits early here. There's a move behind. There's not a move behind. There's someone spun. I think that's Chris Free, who is kept it out of the barriers, which is good. As well, and carrying that much speed up over Region Radiant is quite difficult sometimes. Not to go flying into the barriers, I will say. Fair, Hugo's pointing in the right direction. I think he'll be happy himself with that. Well, we're almost 4 laps down here at Spa. This race is, I can already tell, going to be a long one to sit through compared to yesterday. Yesterday it flew by. Today it's already feels quite long after just 4 laps, I will say, as my voice just absolutely died. Brilliant. Anyways, Harley on the back of David Hoy here. And he's just going to sit behind into the bus stop. Doesn't want to force a move on the Haas. Well, I've always wondered why the start finish straight has DRS. It seems fairly pointless most of the time to me. I don't know. I think it's probably because it's a bit too dangerous to have it lead into Blanchimont, as DRS through Blanchimont would lead to some sort of safety procedure or something about safety would not run with that. As Hardy's up to P9. And Ney gets the chase. I was about to say Ney gets the chase after Hugo, but Hugo got out of the way for him. It's kind of the Red Bull. There's a bit of a twitch up ahead from Rochewell there. Through Pouon. And maybe he's overheating his tyres, I don't know. Or maybe he just... I don't know, I can't think of anything else. There's yellow flags, that's Chris Free. Everyone seems to be struggling with keeping it pointing the right way. What's people's tyre temps? Chris is high 90s as nice game. Just told him not to overtake. Or told Adam that he couldn't overtake. Brilliant. Yeah, Rochebel's got 96 on the phone. No, his tyre temps are fine. Ennis has caught these two. Harley sets the fastest lap of the race here. Well, that would have been lap 5, but we're now on lap 6 as well. Chris Free heads to the pit lane. I think he might have got damage. Get a few spins. Pavelski close to the back of Rochewell, but he's just not quite close enough. As we have another trainer free here. With Carl Mack, Evan Bowers and Anson Wong. As they're probably chasing to try and catch up to the other three in front of them, as Evan runs a bit wide there. Might pick up a warning for doing so, as Harley is behind these lot, about 5 seconds behind at the moment, as there's another yellow flag. There's 2 yellow flags. There's Hugo Nelson and Callum Pierce spinning. And they've both managed to get it back around the correct way once again. It seems like this race is all about just don't bin it, and well, the top 7 haven't spun yet and are the top 7. Harley almost went flying into a barrier and he's 8th, so I mean, just finish the race and I guess you can get decent points here, probably, or just don't spin and you get decent points anyway, so it's probably the goal for people. Rochelle has closed the gap to the lead by about 3/10. So he'll make it before the end of the race if he keeps going at the rate he is, but he does lose time on this first sector as Evan... I mean, he's going to get a good run on Kyle, but he's taken a penalty in the process, and Kyle also has GRS to defend with. Yeah, Kyle is going to keep the position. For now anyways, as makes a bit of a mistake, goes defensive into Bruxelles, and he's going to keep the position for now. However, he's going to have to close back up to Anson again. I wonder how many drivers we're going to see with track limit penalties. We didn't see a single penalty until lap 11 yesterday. Whereas today we had it after 4 corners. Well, coming to the end of lap 7, I'm hoping we get some rain to spice this up. It looks like it could rain any second now. But no, in this game it probably won't. As Evan is close to the back of Kyle Mack, trying to get a good run out of the bus stop, and he's managed to do so. And he's going to go around the outside. No, he's going to let Kyle go deep, but I think he's going to stay behind. Oh no, Carl's playing games to try and get the DRS. I think yeah, Carl is going to get the DRS. So he's going to be able to fight back after Eau Rouge and Radion. As Evan's going to deploy all of the battery here to just keep his position and get away from the AlphaTauri. But Kyle is coming alongside into Lecom, and there you go, that's the move done for the AlphaTauri. Evan probably picked up a warning there as well. As his yellow flags, that's the Haas of someone. No, it's Adam. It is Adam. As we haven't seen him go flying up Eau Rouge yet, as Evan's picked up another penalty. And Adam is not going flying up Eau Rouge, but what sort of barrier glitch was that? I'll go back and look with Lewis in a second to see what that was all about, but that looks safe. Not too much going on out on track, mainly this fight between Evan and Carmack, which has lost them what, like 3 seconds. Oh, that barrier looks lovely. Yeah, that's gonna help. When I guys flying into that, they're probably going to set the milestone of the first F1 car into space. As what the hell was going on there? Evan just forgot his braking point, I'm guessing? I don't know. I'm confused from that, I will say. Anyways, Evan's going to have another go after Eau Rouge and Radion. I mean, he's about 5.5 tenths behind, but he's got an amazing run through there. 6 the battery on. Uses the DRS, and there you go, that's move done. And yep, P6. He also has 6 seconds of penalties, which isn't ideal. That might be another warning there as well. As Ennis has closed back up to these two, but he has got Anson long closing in behind. And the Alfa Romeo just about 3.5 tenths out of the DRS of Ennis at the moment, which I'm sure will be looking to close probably over the next lap or two. But I think he'll need to do it quickly, as the mediums won't have an advantage for too much longer, as he's gained 2 tenths through the first part of Stavolo. And on the exit, just maintaining that gap at a rate of 1.2 at the moment, as I've seen Hugo spun again. Him and Adam seem to have some sort of magnet towards each other at the moment, or something going on, I'm not sure. Sabelski, Roger pits. Hebelski had a moment, he's had another moment there, so but Roger Bell's in. An early pit stop. And not that early on that line, really, actually. Just a little right there. But yeah, that's the hard tyres for the AlphaTauri, as Anson's going to get DRS, and Ennis is going to be very close to the back of Jacob Hebelski here. He doesn't have any battery to try and get past with, but he's going to have a look anyways, as he locks up a bit there, and that's going to invite Anson up to the back of the Red Bull, as Hardy has caught Kyle Mack, and Kyle gets a not very good run through there, and into Bruxelles. The Aston Martin is through and up into P6. Evan Bears is up to 9 seconds on lap 10 here. I didn't think Spa would be the sort of track where that would happen, but you know, I guess a first time for everything. And this is under a lot of pressure here from Anson. See if we can cope with that pressure, as the Alfa Romeo is turned on the battery. Ennis is pulling out the lag switch to stay in front, and he's managed to keep the position, but he's got no battery. So Anson will just wait, take his time, or try and yeet it around the outside, but he's going to just duck into the pit lane here. That's going to give Ennis the lead of the race, as that's pretty much all the medium runners in, and Ennis will probably be in within, I don't know, 2 or 3 laps for the medium tyres. I don't know, you could probably pit this lap now. As well, mediums can last about half the race, so if he comes in at the end of this lap, he's going to have fresh mediums and not be too far off where he was. Rochewell's come out in traffic. He'll be behind David Hoyer's yellow flags. That's, I don't even know who that is. There's also more yellow flags as Evan's gone. At the exit of Lake Com. Well, that's not going to help him out in terms of being ahead of the likes of Kyle and Hardy when he pits. That's a mistake from David Hoyer, and that's going to invite Rochewell to try and make a move into Pouon. Not quite. He's not quite going to have that one. But on the exit of Pouon, he's going to put the battery on, and into the Lafayette chicane, he's going to go to the inside, and there you go, there's the move done. I wonder if Ennis will pit this lap, or Evan, or anyone realistically. Ennis is going to stay out. I think he'll probably be in the next lap then, would be the smartest decision. Evan also stays out. And I think David might do the same. Yeah. So, just over halfway through the race now, and Minus leads at the moment. And Rochewell has managed to close that gap up to Theo Smith. And that is probably a good thing for Rochewell, is he's lost like what, almost a second there coming down towards Lake Hon. There's some definite wing disparity as Theo Smith seems to be running close to 0-0 and Rochewell's probably in the double figures for his wings. Actually, he's closing a lot in this middle sector. That's already half a second or 4 tenths reclose, but he's got no speed into Piron. He could probably almost take that flat with just a shift down, potentially. Yeah, an interesting setup decision that is. Still not too much, but Theo's going to have to get past Evan Bowers. As is Ennis coming into the pit lane this lap? No. And Habelski is all over the back of David Hoy there. Evan jumps into the pits and that's going to help Theo Smith out massively. As David Hoy also boxes. Gives Habelski DRS to keep Hansen behind. There's yellow flags, I think that's Adam. That is Adam. Either Adam or Hugo have pitted yet. So for Rouge we go. Here on lap 13, as Karl Max right back with Evan now, and Evans literally just came out of the pit, so he's going to be vulnerable, and the AlphaTauri is going to try and seize this opportunity to make the move. And there he comes to the outside of Lake Hon. Is he going to be ahead by the end of the corner complex? I don't think he is. Evans managed to keep it alongside on the colder medium tyres, and there's been a bit of contact between the two of them, but Evans going to get the position and stay ahead, but Carl's punted him into the corner there. That's not good driving from Carl. I'm gonna go back and apologise. I'll just watch the chaos ensue as Evans now gonna go for a move on the inside of Piron. Carl goes steep and off the track, and Evans gonna say thank you very much. That is my position. Kyle, yeah, don't dive into there. That's just stupid. And he hasn't dived into there. As his yellow flags, Callum Pearce is now a lap down. And Hugo has gone sideways. Looked like a quiet race for me until then, but yeah, it was a quiet race. As there you go. Callum's moving out the way for blue flags, so it doesn't look like you're going to have any blue flag issues either. As, yeah, I think that there's going to be some reports as Callum speeds into the pits. I think he's retiring. He didn't retire in Singapore when he was a lap then, he just kept going, so I don't know. He might not. We'll see. As Anson on the back of Jacob Habelski here. In the DRS, he's going to use a bit of the battery to guarantee himself the move. And there you go, the Alfa Romeo is up in pieces. And it's now off on a charge after the front two. About 8 laps to go. I'm interested to see how quickly Ennis will catch. No, he has decided to pit. He's come out about 3 seconds behind Habelski. The only issue for him is, well, if Habelski sticks to the back of Anson, then Yeah, and that's also another issue for him. He's just got a penalty. But yeah, if Hebelski stays in the DRS, then it's going to make the move difficult for Ennis to make, especially with the lack of battery he does have, as Evans up to 12 seconds for track limits. Which, I don't know how much is going to affect him at the end of the race, but I have a feeling it'll probably drop him behind David. And then it all depends on how many penalties Kyle gets by the end of the race. Now he's got 3 seconds at the moment. If he doesn't get any more, then he'll probably be Evan. If he does, then he probably won't, as Harley's on the back of Ennis here, and Ennis is now having to defend. He's lost a second and a half somewhere. I didn't even see yellow flags or anything, so he's probably had a bit of a half spin. That's going to allow the Aston Martin to put the Red Bull under pressure here, as he's not got much battery to make the move with, but Ennis doesn't have that much to defend with, and he's going to use what he has, and the DRS. He's not even going to use that much battery. He's going to leave himself just above 10%, maybe tactically, so Ennis doesn't see the red light flashing, as Harley makes the curb a bit too aggressively, and that's going to allow Ennis to keep his position for now. He also runs off track. That'll probably be a warning. We have seen that give warnings this race, as David Hoyt is past Carmack and can now go and chase after Evan. He just needs to not lose 6.5 seconds at the moment to him. There's David, plenty of battery, all stored up. David's a smart driver. He'll use his resources to the best of his ability as Hebelski picks up a penalty. And that is going to help out Ennis and Harley, who have gained by about a second this lap. Anson's also closing up to the back of Rogerwell here for P2 in the race. Anson does have slightly fresher hard tyres, but it's not really going to make that much of a difference. Seems like the Alfa Romeo has just found a good rhythm on these hard tyres, as yeah, he's really gaining the time here. So we'll come back to him in probably a few laps time if he does manage to catch, as Harley is not close enough this lap to attack Ennis, and I think last lap was his one and only chance for that move. I bet David would love a safety car here. He's got the medium tyres. He wouldn't need to pit, although he does have Carmack right on the back of him at the moment. Kyle has a lot of battery. David also has a lot of battery, and he's using it plentifully at the moment. He's just going to try and get away in this middle sector. He should be able to on the medium tyres, I would think. As Ennis has closed that gap by another second up to a Hebelski. Hebelski is losing about half a second a lap to Anson, who's closing a bit on Rogerwell, who's losing time to Theo. I don't know what I keep saying. I don't know what the point of me saying every single part of that sentence was, as there's yellow flags. That is Adam, who has dropped into 12th place, and there's a safety car. You can't park there, Adam. That is a barrier. We have a full safety car for that. Not for Jordan going flying up Eau Rouge and Radion, but for that. As Theo Smith comes into the pit lane, Rogerwell comes in, Anson comes in, Hebelski comes in, Ennis stays out, Harley comes in, and they're going for softs. So Ennis is going to lead this race, but he does have a penalty. Everyone's going for softs. Evans in, David is in, Carmack's in, everyone's in. But Ennis is going to lead then, and this puts everything on a level playing field, and Liam is now violently swearing at his screen if he's still watching, as he knows what happens when there's a late safety car. Absolute chaos ensues, and this is where I'm now interested a bit more than I was, since nothing was really happening. Well, be about, I don't know, maybe 3 reports Leland was going to get this race. Might be about 703 after, by the end of the race, I reckon. There's going to be it's going to be something in the ballpark of that. I'm just presuming, because that's always what happens on a late safety car. It's just a F2 thing. But maybe today's a different day. I know Liam will be hoping, so he'll be hoping for more races like China. And, well, we'll see if we'll be able to get that or not. I wonder how long the safety car's going to be out for. But everyone's on softs, and Adam and Hugo are still at the pit lane, while the safety car is soon to be entering the final sector, so we might be here a while, to be fair. So, let's see what's going to happen then. I'm sure there's going to be something that kicks off. Let's take a look at the penalties. So, Ennis, Habelski, Harley, Carmack and Adam all have 3 seconds. Adam obviously had 3 seconds after 3 corners, or 4 corners actually. I think the only one he probably didn't get a warning was turn 1, then he probably got it. The exit of, actually he would have got it, the exit of Radion, the inside of the first bit of Lacombe, and then the second bit of Lacombe as well, or maybe he got it the second and third bit, I don't know. I really want to ask him how he's done that. And then Evan on 12 seconds. Yeah, the safety car's not ideal for him as Carmack. Carmack's pitted. Are you from weak, or he just wants even fresher tyres? This is not even going to lose a place. I think just the second one. There. So, late safety car. Everyone loves a late safety car. We'll say that. Will we be in this lap? I don't know. As what? What the? Something's just happened. What have I just missed? Oh no. Habalski's in a wall. Lewis Pierce is disconnected. Evan Bowers is disconnected. Harley Davidson's disconnected. Lovely. Okay, yeah, I think we're gonna need to call something potentially here. I think there's issues with the lobby. Hold up in just a moment. So yeah, we're red flagging the race. And yeah. This is the portion where I now go and okay. Let me read the rule book then. Let's see what it actually says. Restarts and cancellations, section 9. Calculator. 17 divided by 22 times 100. We are 77% into the race. A lap. Okay, so we are currently just restarting. Sorry for me being quiet. I'm helping with sorting this, and for some reason when I do that I focus and yeah. I just stop speaking. Anyways, cool. Nice. We all love this game and its many procedural failures that it has. Okay, we are who's pinging me? Why is Ennis not starting first? I've been asked. Uh, Alright, so, what are we doing? I don't know. We're restarting soon, I think. Okay, we are going. So we followed the correct procedures that we have been instructed to follow by our own rule book, which I can't lie, I half the time don't pay attention to. But actually came in useful for once. Luckily I don't have to pay attention since I'm not a steward. I can steward, but I prefer not to. I've had some pain stewarding before in this league. Especially some of the highlights are the last lap of a championship deciding moment when one driver yeets it and punches someone off track. That's good. Anyways, shout out Hugo. 8 laps is what we have, or 7. I don't know. I didn't read. I should read more. I think. I don't know. It should be 7 because it's 50% and a sprint is 50%. 50% of 50%. No. A sprint's 35% or 33. It's a third. So it should be 7. If it's 8, then this game's fraudulent. We'll see anyways. Hopefully everyone remembered their setup. Okay, off we go. We are going to the grid. That's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 red lights, and away we go. Here in Spa once again, it's 8 laps, so this game's fraud and doesn't know how to do maths properly. I'm not surprised considering the game barely works in the first place. Harley already in the middle and going up into 4th place. He did yeet Havelski off a bit there, as Havelski rejoins back into the fray as let's go on board with Kyle up over Region Radion. Is anyone going to stack it up here? I hope for their own sake they're not, as Callum Pierce He managed to get back onto the elite lap from this, so he's going to be buzzing with this red flag as Theo Smith leads away from Roger. Well, as there's a dive there from Harley Davidson, as contact to Belsky has either been pushed or broken late, as there's massive contact, and that's Evan Bowers and Tabelski out of the race there with a big collision, and that's a VSC. And that's a safety car. We're back to where we were. Oh, great. Now we've got to wait for a safety car. So we've had a nice amount of collisions to start with. I will say, brilliant. Great start to red flag procedures. It'd be nice if we had like a rolling start option, if anything, on this game. That'd be quite cool, but you'd be broken the hell out of. Everyone's on mediums. Well. Alright, so now we get a safety car again, which we love. Not. We have a few drivers swapping over to the soft tyres. Let's see how they can do on those softs. Well, Callum Pearce is happy, he's up to 6th place. And this is why you don't give up. Anything can happen in this game. Literally anything. If there's desync, then you have to red flag the racing. You can come back to the lead lap just from, you know, driving it through. Because we can't exactly control it. I mean, we could put Callum a lap down after the race and manually assign it, but it's just this game is like. It'd be nice if there was just a few more options like that we had on the game that could just make everything a bit easier to control. Right, lap 2. Here we go. Can we restart? Safety car, there's no need to stay at this extra lap. There's just no need. It's gonna stay out. Of course it is. Of course it is. Of course it has to stay out, doesn't it? You know, because the game can't just let it come in straight away when everyone's caught. No. We have to waste our time and go back down to 5 laps left. Brilliant. Thanks, game. Very cool. While we wait, Lewis and Adam are in. They're going even fresher on the tyres because they might as well. The safety car just decided to stay out for them. Go for the freshest of tyres, and I'll be in a good spot. Meanwhile, I'm just reading random stuff because I might as well, since this game is really exciting and really fun. And yep. Pain. So, if the safety car comes in this lap and we don't have any more, we'll have 5 laps of racing, which is what we were going to have before the server decided to combust, yeet 3 people out and launch someone into a wall with a ghosted car. Nice. So, well, this game's been terrible. I don't. Have we had a race this season in F2 where there hasn't been a red flag? Because Canada we red flagged after quali. The first round of the season we red flagged between the sprint and the race. China, I actually don't think there was a red flag. Singapore, I think we red flagged at some point, I don't know. Safety cars in this lap, good. Thank you. I was so looking forward to just not having any issues, or just having that ending we were going to have the other time, but now we've got this. Why? We have this instead. So, here's going to lead the restart. Rogerwell second, Holly Davidson third, Anson 1 4th, Ennis 5th. Callum Pearce up to 6th from 14th, up 8. There you go, you can see it, Hugo up 6. So, here goes Ennis to restart us. It's got, not Ennis, Theo Smith to restart us. It's just, whenever I see a Mercedes, it makes me think of Ennis at the moment. It's a natural thing. So, what I can see from this restart, Hardy's right on the back of, or was on the back of Rochevelle. No, isn't right on the back of Rochevelle. As at the end of this lap, we're going to be halfway through. Hopefully, there's not as much death as there was off the first start, because that was not fun. As Hugo Nelson is using the battery to try and make a move on Callum Pearce into Lacombe. Callum's going to outbrake him and keep the position. As his yellow flag's up ahead, and that is Harley Davidson round in the Aston Martin. Oh, he was stuck on that curb. As, oh my Hugo, has he been hit, or has he? I think he might have been hit. And Kyle's missing an end plate. He's definitely been hit. And Kyle might want to be a bit more careful, as he's what, like 3 penalty points away from a race ban or something, for accumulating too many penalty points. You got about 12 last week or something. You got like 6 in Canada or something. 6 or 7. 7 or 8. I don't know. As Theo Smith picks up a penalty. Hello. That's quite important in the grand scheme of things, as there goes Chris Free up into P8 ahead of David Hoy, and he's now got the task of overtaking a few more cars. As Rochevelle's in a good place in the AlphaTauri, no penalty, and just needs to stay within 3 seconds. Anderson could get a P2 here. Callum Pearce has had a absolute blessing from a lap down in the 14th to 5th. And he just needs to keep that as Kyle dives to the inside of Lacombe, and he parks it right in front, and that's also going to invite Hugo for a move on Callum. Callum's now getting shuffled down the order a bit, as Hugo's just going to stick alongside, and they're still side by side into No Name, and they're 3 wide into No Name, and Chris Rees had both of them. Well, soft tyre runners aren't making as much progress as they may have hoped, I don't think, because everything's kicking off here. And Lewis almost pushing David Hoy through that corner. As there's an Aston Martin running right, that's Callum Pearce. And here comes Lewis Pearce and David Hoy then. Yeah, okay, there could have been 3 wide into Blanchimont there. This is close to being something quite magnificent. Up ahead, no dives. Behind, there is a dive. It's David Hoy trying to make the move. Lewis Pearce is trying to cut it back on the exit of the corner. David Hoy is now looking for to actually just get the move done. Then the inside into turn 1. He's not going to send it though. Instead, he's going to focus on the exit as Chris Freeze up into 5th ahead. And they're going to be side by side coming up towards Eau Rouge and Radillon. And, well, Callum's going to keep his position. He also has DRS, but David Hoy is going to use the battery. You see, Callum's not got much. Lewis Pearce is also trying to get involved here. They're going to be three wide into the Lacombe chicane. Kyle completely cuts that corner off, and meanwhile behind they've managed to make it three wide. Adam Lapidge is now looking for a move as well, as everything is going a bit mental. As Carl Mack looking for a move on the outside of Pouon here, and well, with that front wing damage, he's having to take the scenic route through there, and he's not going to get that move done. Hugo is benefiting, as these guys are going to be destroying their softs with how much fighting they're doing. And David's now got Callum and Lewis Pearce behind. As Callum's into the wall. And that is a shame for the Aston Martin. And he's probably getting a reminder of how the first part of this race went, as they're going to be 3 wide into the bus stop. Hugo backs out of that. He didn't want anything to do with it. But he's going to try and get the exit here, as this could be about 7 wide up Eau Rouge and Radillon into Lacombe. I don't know. As there's a dive from Carl Mack to try and get alongside Chris Free. He's going to be alongside. There's also David Toy and Lewis Pearce alongside behind. Hugo's weaving to try and find the space. He's just everyone in a massive train here. This is ridiculous. And then Carl Mack's going to have DRS. Hugo's pushing him. David Hoy's now right behind. And we could have about 4 wide here for P5. Carl Mack's going for the move. Hugo's trying to get all of them. David Hoy's also going for it. Carl Mack's going to be ahead. Lewis Pearce now looking to the outside. Hugo on the outside of Chris Free, which swaps to the inside. Chris is going to defend the move. David Hoy now looking to try and get past into Bruxelles there. But he's not going to be able to do so, as at the moment, no carnage, and we've got another lap yet though, as this is ridiculous. And Hardy's got about 5 seconds from this taking place, as I think this is just going to be very close at the end here, as there's so many points up for grabs in this one tiny portion of the track. As Hugo gets a good run off of Stavolo, and Hugo saved the battery a lot, so he's going to have the advantage on the last lap here. As on board with David Hoy, he's got Lewis Pearce coming for him, and Lewis is going to go to the inside. He's also going to be on the inside of Hugo, and ooh, that was close. As they're going to be side by side on the exit of the corner. As up ahead, Chris potentially looking for a move on Carl. He's not managed to get that one done, as everyone's still fighting here. Hugo's now alongside. Lewis Pearce has gone round, and also there's a Haas round as well, Adam Lapidge, and there's 2 of them out of this fight. As Carl Mack's managing to get a bit of a lead. Hugo's taken that warning, and he's now going for the move, as Here he comes. He's going to be on the outside. We don't need a camera behind right now, so we'll stay on board with the Red Bull. He's going to try on the outside. Callum Pearce picks up a penalty. Hugo still alongside Chris Freire as Chris has gone sideways, and that's let David and Hugo through. And everyone's getting shuffled all over the place. Chris Freire now diving it to the inside of David Toy. David's going to cut back on him here, but Chris is going to just get his nose in front into No Name and keep that position as Adam picks up a 3-second penalty. He did that in 4 corners last time. It's taken him until the final lap this time around, as the leaders are miles up the road, but we can't really focus on them as this is still all kicking off. Hugo's got plenty of battery here. He's just going to deploy every last bit of it to try and get past Kyle Mack. He's going to be already alongside coming into Blanchimont, and this is going to be tight as Hugo's going to be ahead, and Kyle Mack's going to stick it alongside, but he's got a penalty, and Hugo trying to stay alongside. He's gone deep into the chicane, but I don't think it's going to matter as Roger wins the race on penalties. Anson won P2 by 57 thousandths, Ennis P4, Hugo P5, Chris Free P6, David Toy P7, Harley Davidson P8, Carl Mack down to 9th, Adam Layfage 10th, but loses it to Lewis Pierce, and then Callum Pierce in 12th. I don't know what I've just witnessed. Let's get the gaps. There's the gaps. We're not going to get a race director though. Thanks, game. So, that was a interesting race. Let's take a look. Let's just give it a once. We'll see. We'll have a check with people. I need to get an interview screen or an ending stream screen. I'll set that up. I'll set it up. Make it look nice. I don't think we got anyone coming for interviews, so we're just gonna call it off there. So, thank you all for watching. Sorry that we've had about another red flag to add to the list of how many red flags. One day this game will fix itself. One day. One day. So yeah, thank you all for watching, and